Good morning, children, and welcome back to the history of class 12. We are discussing third chapter of your first book, and today's topic is topic number 5 from page number 72, explaining social differences or social contract. In our previous topic, we have discussed about various things. In this chapter, we are dealing with the social history of ancient India between the time period of 5th century BC or 6th century BC to 6th century CE. And historians have used different sources, especially textual evidences, and textual evidences can be of two different groups or two different types. Okay, one is Brahmanical text or Sanskritic text, about which we have discussed a lot in our previous topics, like Dharma Shastras and Dharma Sutras. Mahabharata also a part of it, comes under this only. Manusmriti, we have discussed about all this thing. And as per this Brahmanical theory, Brahmanical system or Brahmanical rules and regulations, we have discussed about the division of society into 4 different varnas. We have also discussed about the distribution of occupations among the people belonging to different varnas, and then we have also discussed about different things like the rules and regulations of about marriage, rules and regulations associated with the property and all, claiming to the resources and all, and so on and so forth. Today we will be discussing about a topic which is very important for your board examination as well. It can form a 8 marks question, although the topic is not very big, it's a short one, but it is expected to come in 8 marks also sometime. If it doesn't come entirely for 8 marks, sometime it can come for 4 marks, adding to the other 4 marks to make it of 8 marks question, right? So in this topic we will discuss about the origin of society, especially the origin of state. What was the origin of state, not from the Brahmanical views, but from the views of other philosophy. Especially in this topic we will discuss about the Buddhist philosophy, through which the Buddhist philosophy that try to explain us how the present form of society is formed, or how the present form of state is being formed. In your previous classes, also in class 9, you have discussed about, I guess, this topic, the topic as a social, social contract theory. Although this social contract theory is not that social contract theory which we have discussed in our previous classes, but here we will try to explain, this topic will try to make you understand how the society came into being through the Buddhist philosophy. Yes, children. The Buddhists also developed an alternative understanding of social inequalities and of the institutions required to regulate social conflict. In a myth found in a text known as the Sutta Pitaka, they suggested that originally human beings did not have fully evolved bodily forms, nor was the world of plants fully developed. All beings lived in an idyllic state of peace, taking from nature only what they needed for each meal. Now, Buddhist literature, 3 very important Buddhist literature, also known as Tripitaka. It contains 3 different books: Abhidhamma Pitaka, Vinaya Pitaka, and Sutta Pitaka. So through Sutta Pitaka, this particular topic is extracted from the Sutta Pitaka of the Buddhist text or Buddhist literature. As per this Sutta Pitaka, the Buddhist philosophy try to explain the alternative understanding about the inequalities in society. Alternative understanding means not, in previous topic we have discussed about the Brahmanical theory about the presence of social inequality. Here we will try to understand through the Buddhist philosophy. Okay, here it is said that as per the Sutta Pitaka, originally human being as well as other plant kingdoms, you can consider entire living beings, did not evolve completely, did not evolve into its complete bodily form which we could see today. Okay, we have also discussed about the theory of evolution. If you remember, children, class 11, the first chapter of your book, we discussed about how human being evolved from its previous different forms. Okay, from primates to and so on and so forth. Okay, so here the same thing through Sutta Pitaka we are getting to know that originally human beings did not develop into its present bodily form, nor the other plant kingdoms as well. And the very important thing is that during that state of time, during that period of time when it was not completely evolved as what it is today, they used to live in an idyllic situation, idyllic state of peace. Idyllic state of peace means a situation which is extremely happy, the condition which is extremely happy conditions, where there was no pain, no sorrow, and no conflict. They live in complete peace. There was no conflict, there was no classes between one person to other person, or group of people to the other group of people. Okay, and basic thing what they required for their survival was only food, and they are completely depending upon the nature. Okay, so they at that time they only used to take the things which is required for them for their survival from the nature, and they take that much things only, that much amount only which is required for them to fulfill their needs of that time. Okay, their need was only food. Okay, they used to live in jungle, or so you can just imagine that they may be living in caves and all also. Okay, they did not make at that time they did not make their houses and all like us today. Okay, they live in jungle. They were completely dependent on nature only, and for the food they used to take, for a meal, whatever the things they need, they only take that much thing. Say for a survivor, suppose one need 2 apples or a bananas. Okay, so they take that much only, 2 apples and a banana. Okay, not single piece more than that. So as a result, resources were abundantly available for all the people. It is also very rightly said that nature has everything to fulfill the need of people, but it does not have anything to fulfill the greed of people. Okay, nature can fulfill the need, but not the greed. That is exactly what was there. That is why people don't have greed at that time. They have only need. So in order to fulfill their need, they have everything available in the nature. Okay. But however, there was a gradual deterioration of this state as human beings became increasingly greedy, vindictive, and deceitful. But children, that state of idyllic situation, that idyllic state of peace did not last for a long period of time. With the passage of time, over the period, gradually that idyllic state of peace situation started changing. It started deteriorating, not improving. Okay, started deteriorating, and gradually the characteristics of human beings started changing. Human beings started becoming greedy. The coming of that particular nature of greed, or being a greedy, led to the coming of another different characteristics among the human beings, especially to fulfill their greed. Now, earlier they were happy with taking whatever they need for a particular meal. Now they started thinking about their future. They started thinking about their future like we think about our future. Okay, And thinking about our future, we forgot our present. We don't enjoy our present rather. Okay, similarly that started taking place from that period of time when human beings started thinking about their future, and they started, storing the things for the future. So the greed entered into the mind of the people that led to the changes in their behavior. Now they started becoming vindictive. They started becoming, in order to fulfill their needs, not only needs rather, in order to complete their greed or fulfill their greed. And children, please remember, greed is never ending. Greeds are never ending. Today you get one thing, you need one thing, you have a greed of one thing. Tomorrow that once you fulfill that need or greed, you can say, another greed is waiting for you. You want more and more and more. As a result, now the nature cannot, I already told you that nature cannot fulfill your greed. For that you have to fight with the other people. You have to think the way that I only should get these resources available in the nature. I should not allow somebody else to get it, otherwise I will not be able to get more, because I need more now. I need more and more and more. Right? So as a result of that, people started becoming vindictive. They started marking the places. They started identifying the areas of their own sphere, okay, where they could ascertain their claims and all. As a result, they started becoming deceitful. They started deceiving people. Now they became cheater. They started cheating other people. Okay, so this type of changes in the characteristics of human being led to the decrease in that peace situation. Children, now there arise a situation when individual conflicts, individual classes and individual problems take away that extreme peace and happy situations. Now people started fighting with each other. Don't think that people were living in today's villages and all. They were living in jungle, and individual people, say if a group of people, maybe 3-4 people living together as a small family, over the period of time, they started conflicting, or they started fighting with the other same group of the people. That led to a very bad situation in jungles. Conflicts and conflicts take over that peace situations which was prevailing there before. So with this change, now people also started thinking about how to solve this problem. Okay, अब now पहले तो पीस होता था, अभी conflict शुरू हो गया, तो इसको हम कैसे overcome करेंगे? Oh, as a result of that, so they started thinking, now what if we were to select a certain being who should be wrathful when indignation is right, who should censor that which should rightly be censored, and should banish him who deserved to be banished. Now they started thinking about the authority. They started thinking about the power which will create order in the society, which will create law and order in the society. They started thinking about that authority, okay, that power, which will enjoy the power, so that if he feels and that power feels that somebody need to be punished or somebody's activities need to be regulated, those punishment and regulations of the things can be done by that particular thing, okay, or that particular authority. So now they started thinking about the authority. They started thinking about a regulator, so-called ruler, so-called a headman, village headman or clan headman or something like that. It cannot be only the human being, a person. Sometimes it can be a group of people. Okay, so now, so if suppose that particular authority is being created, suppose take an example, a person is being selected as a head who will look after the law and order situations, will regulate the rules and regulations in the society. So for his survival, he needs the resources. He can't go and collect the resources because he is busy regulating the society. For that, to fulfill his needs, they decided that we will give him in return a proportion of the rice. This led to the creation of the institution of the taxes. Okay, now so usko maintain करने के लिए, the maintenance of that particular authority, then he needs the resources, and that resources will come from the people itself. The people will give a person or the proportion of the rice which they have. It means that rice is given as example only. Okay, it means that a proportion of the resources which other individual own or control will be shared with the authority. That is present day form of taxes. Today, we form our government, today's democratic government. Take an example. We elect entire population of the country, not population, rather entire voters of the country. They elect the government, and the government will rule us because we have given them the power, given that particular authority the power to make the rules and regulations to regulate us in the society. And for their maintenance, they need the resources, and we pay the resources, we give the resources in the form of tax. The same thing started in that manner. Okay, so you can just imagine the situations. The present day form of the government has its origin in the way the people started thinking about the creation of the authority in the society. It is actually originated from the contract between different people. Okay, that is why the topic itself is a social contract. So now last line में देखो, chosen by the whole people, he will be known as Mahasamata, the great elect. So that authority will be chosen by all the people of that particular area. Say it can be 500 people, or it can be 5 people, or it can be 15 people, or so on. However number of the people are available in that particular area, they will elect a person, an authority. It can be a group of people. Okay, so that authority will be known as Mahasamata. In other words, it is also termed as great elect. Okay, so this is how the state is being formed. This suggests that the situation of kinship was based on human choice, with taxes as a form of payment for services rendered by the king. At the same time, it reveals recognitions of human agency in creating and institutionalizing economic and social relations. So this gives us an idea that the present form of society, the present form of state, is actually originated from the social contract among the people. People decided to form an authority. They had a contract among themselves, and they elected or selected an authority, and that authority is given with the power. Children, here I'll give you one small example. In Puranic myth, or we know about goddess Durga. Okay, every year we celebrate Durga Puja in our country. So there, one Rakshasa was there called Mahisasura. He was very powerful, and he cannot be defeated and killed by anybody. Okay, and it is said that he has got a blessing that he will be killed only a woman. Okay, so there was no woman such powerful to kill him. So as a result, all the god with different powers, they came together, and they decided and discussed the thing that let us create an authority, let us create a power. So they thought of, and they imagined of goddess Durga. Okay, and every ruler, they surrendered every god rather surrendered or given some sort of their individual power to goddess Durga. As a result of that accumulation of the power from all these different sources, she became very powerful, and she finally killed the Mahisasura. That is exactly how the power and authority of an authority comes. People surrender their power, and those all powers of every individuals will pull together, and that forms the power and authority of the state, power and authority of the ruler. Okay, so here when we discuss about the social contract theory, in our previous topics we discussed that the origin of the emperor and origin of the states and all, and through Brahmanical systems, where we discussed about the hereditary system. We discussed about the patrilineal succession system, where a father, suppose a father is a ruler, then his eldest son will become the next ruler, patrilineal succession of the throne. There was a theory called divine origin theory of kingship that says that the king is the representative of the god in this earth. That is another belief. But through the social contract theory, or the social contract theory believes that the god did not create the emperor, the god did not create or created the power or authority. Rather, the authority or the power or the state or the government is actually created by the social contract among the people. They faced problems. In order to solve their problem, they came together, they had a contract among themselves, and as a result of that contract, the authority has been created in the form of state. Now, this gives us an idea that any management, social management, management of the resources, management of the different social aspect in the society is also as a result of the contract among the people, as per the social contract theory. And at the same time, if the authority is being created by the people, if the government is being selected or elected by the people, it means that the people will have the right to remove that authority also, to change that authority also. This is only on the basis with which the present day democratic form of system work. If people don't like government, the way the government is functioning, next 5 years or next election, people have all the right to change that particular government. So here, the king, as per this divine right theory or as per this other Brahmanical theory of inheritance and all, a paternal, patrilineal succession and all, social contract theory says that the king is not, our king is being made by the contract among the people. So if people feel that the king is not working properly, he needs to be changed or replaced, people can do it because they have the right, because they have only created it. So this is how the social contract theory tried to explain the formation of society in an alternative way. Here also, it also describes how inequality started coming up into the society. Initially, all individuals are living individually, taking what they need from the nature, only that much they need from the nature. But over the period of time, when conflict started coming up, when classes started taking place in the society or in the place where they are living in, that led to the formation of an authority. Now, with the creation of authority, the divides in the society started coming up. A group of people becoming more powerful and other people started becoming powerless. Thank you very much. This much from this particular topic, the social contract. I will make another video now next, in this way, rather, we have completed the main topics of this chapter about the social history. Now next few topics we will discuss about how historians have handled the ancient text as a source to the history, especially the history of social history of India of ancient time. In the very beginning of the topic only we have a chapter, we have discussed that historians have used the text, or textual traditions. Now how that textual traditions can formed as a source to the history, we will discuss in this next coming up topics. I'll make the video and I'll just share those videos to you also. And we will also try to understand how Mahabharata was, Mahabharata became a source. In what way they converted Mahabharata as an epic into a source by following different methods and all. Thank you very much. See you very soon.